Kamara drive-in. It's the coach. This is NFL football.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
On the set. 52's the mic. Go. 5.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
The backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner. And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. If you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. Only in the first quarter. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Kamara. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. He was able to topple the 200-yard mark and a rushing touchdown for good measure.
And what I found surprising, all those yards he accumulated, only found the end zone one
just
time.
Once.
That doesn't even seem fair, does it?
But still, the 200-yard mark, something he can always carry in his back pocket. On 2nd down, Kamara. And an alley to run. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Wilson buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ramsey. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson dancing to his left. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. Check 26, check 26.
From the gun, it's Palmer. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Joe Mixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Mixon. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to look at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And for the right side here, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now it's Palmer. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. We're scoreless after one. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Out of the gun, Palmer. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's how we do it.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Palmer will throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Check. Crouch. 14.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 47 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. After the sack on first down, Wilson flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, lived to fight another down, right?
Here's Wilson, rolling to his right. He's got Lockett. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Alvin Kamara, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
To try here for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense a good chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Mixon. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Mixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Throwing is Palmer, and this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Let's see what you got.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They go play action now. Wilson sliding out of the pocket. This complete to Lockett. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
You got three down.
Wilson will throw again. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Wilson now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down.
Alert, 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 alert. 97's the mic, 97's the mic.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Play action. Now Wilson. They'll roll him out right. It's caught. Lockett. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Situation, let's go. 12. 97's the mic, 97's the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me. 97's the mic, 97's the mic. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. 97's the mic, 97's the mic. Go, go, go.
Here's Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Yes, good job.
Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end pass rush. They've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Ready?
To throw is Palmer. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now it's Lockett.
Keep playing hard.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Now we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. One left. Check three. Good job right there. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. What's the run? Hey, they're running it. Let's go. 97's the mic. 97's the mic.
To throw again. Wilson forced out to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, watch it.
They run it again with Kamara. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Kamara out of a pistol. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Double tight, guys, double tight. We got three, fellas, we got 3.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
One left.
This time Wilson will throw. Steps away to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Bengals have recovered it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on. And they can
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Ready? 18, Gator. Watch the run.
Throwing now. Palmer on first down. Got his man. It's Eifert. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Off the play fake. Here's Palmer. To the left side here for Eifert. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick is indeed good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you'd actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Come on, now, come on, now.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped, and the Bengals grab it. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Not not the trend he wanted to start the season with. A fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. Now Palmer. Toward the pylon, caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Here's Palmer to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat. But they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. Now, that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a 1st down.
Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score from NRG Stadium in Houston. It's the Texans firmly in control of that one. They've scored again. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
On the ground, Kamara. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And an alley to run. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Toss play, Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Okay. Switch up. 97's the mic. Here we go.
Now Wilson, buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Now it's Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Now it's Palmer. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Palmer. This one caught by Crowder. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. Gets past one man. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming after you.
Running with Kamara. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Wilson to throw. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, second and goal.
You can't block me.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. No gain on the play that time. So a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a fourth and goal. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Seahawks, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding